of the morning. You are watching the CAOT TV Show. I am one of your co-hosts, Lynn Pender, and I'm excited to have my co-host today, Pastor Kevin Wayne Johnson.
All right.
How are you, sir?
I'm excited, too. I like the way you say I'm excited. Good morning. I'm looking forward to a great show.
Yes. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, CAOT stands for Christian Authors on Tour. We are a group of men and women on fire for God and committed to using writing as a tool for Christian ministry. This TV show on the WBGR Gospel Network is one way that we are able to showcase and spotlight different authors who are not only part of the CAOT family, but who are part of God's family, right?
Yes.
We don't have a monopoly on Christian books.
There you go. This is global.
Yes. And so you tune in every Friday to get an introduction to a different Christian author, and today is no different. We have a wonderful woman of God here.
Thank
We
you.
do.
You're going to learn a little bit more about her in a few, but we have to do some housekeeping.
We
first,
do.
right?
Absolutely.
So, we are excited about these calendars, Pastor Kevin.
Yes, we are.
This, if you haven't heard, we have the CAOT photo wall calendars. We have 3 calendars. The Men of Christian Authors
Yes.
on Tour, which features you and
Yes.
Leroy and some other men of Christian authors on tour.
Yes.
The Ladies of Christian Authors on Tour, as well as the CAOT TV Show calendar. You have 3 options to support Christian Authors on Tour, getting more information about different Christian authors each month of the year, and you can sew into our organization. Visit us online at www.christianauthorsontour.com. Click on the Services and Products tab to purchase your calendar.
And you are featured in the women's calendar.
I am one of several women that are featured in the women's calendar, and we're really excited. And we've been doing this now for a few years, and it's a great way to spotlight different men and women. And for those of you who are avid Christian book lovers and you're always looking to find out about different books that might be of interest to you, this is a great way for you to do that. And it's a keepsake too.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yes. And then we are preparing. It's 2019.
Yes.
It's an odd number year.
Yes.
And so in the odd number years, we have a multi-state Christian book tour. And this year is the 2019 Seed in Good Soil Christian Authors on Tour. We have 5 Christian book tour stops planned. The first is May 17th through the 18th, right here in Maryland at the National Christian Writers Conference. And we're so excited. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Well, again, my really good friend Antonio Crawford is the founder, and he's the director of the National Christian Writers Conference. And this is an annual conference that comes to the East Coast. It's also in the Midwest and on the West Coast. And interestingly enough, Antonio and his wife Gwen are authors, actively involved in the publishing community, and he also acquired the rights several years ago to the Orange County Christian Writers Conference, which is a major Christian Writers Conference where authors and publishers and editors come from all over, literally, not just the United States, but the world. So we're excited to impart knowledge, to fellowship with other authors, meet publishers, meet agents, meet editors, all under one roof, the 17th and 18th of May. Please sign up. You will not regret it.
Yes, and you are one of the featured authors. You're doing a workshop, right?
And you are too.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
And we will have, this particular conference is the first official tour stop of our 2019 multi-state Christian book tour. So we're really excited. We already have one author that signed up to be at the CAOT vending space, and that's Pastor Myra Harris.
Wonderful.
She's a Christian children's book author from the Maryland area. Wonderful lady of God. We want to encourage you to come out, support these Christian authors. What's great about this conference, though, Pastor Kevin, is that it's not just an opportunity for people to stock up on books, but it's also an opportunity opportunity for them to sharpen their craft.
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. It's all about improving the craft,
Yes.
gaining knowledge and getting understanding, sitting under the voice of people who have been there and done that and
Yes.
willing to share. So when you leave, you'll know a lot more than when you came in. And you would have developed a network and fellowship with other like-minded people who have the same vision and purpose that you have. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. So that's the first tour stop for the 2019 Seed and Good Soil Christian Authors on Tour. The second scheduled tour stop is in July at the
Harlem Book Fair.
We are get ready. We hope you plan to meet us in Harlem, New York for this wonderful, one of the oldest outdoor African American book festivals in the nation.
Yes.
And it's just going to be a wonderful time. After the Harlem Book Fair, we're heading Midwest to Berkeley, Missouri for Harvest Church Community Economic Empowerment Day. And we will have a presence there. And we want you to come out and support us. When we leave Missouri, we're heading back up east, well, northeast to Boston. Yeah, to the Beantown Jazz Festival in September. And then in December, we're closing it out at the 2019 Christian Writers Literary Festival in Baltimore, which is going to be at the Downtown Cultural Arts Center. And so we really want you to come out and support the different authors that's participating in this tour. We know many of you have been asking, when are you guys going on tour? And this is an opportunity for you to come out and meet the authors, buy their books, and just have a great time. If you want more information, www.christianauthorsontour.com.
Yes, yes. So you have definitely taken care of all of the information to get people excited. If you're not a member, please join and take advantage of all that the organization has to offer. It's tremendous. It's tremendous.
Yes, and I want to give Mitzi Carasculo a shout out. Mitzi is Boston-based, her and her husband, but she's been a member of Christian Authors on Tour for quite a while now, and she's helping to coordinate the efforts with the Beantown Jazz Festival, but she's also our producer of the CAOT Blog Talk radio show, and so that's a free opportunity for any author. You don't have to be a member of CAOT, but that's a free opportunity for you to get information out about you and your books. And she has us booked up all the way to like March or April.
I'm not
already.
surprised. She's awesome. I'm not surprised.
So if you're interested in booking a free interview on the CAOT Blog Talk radio show, you can go to the website www.christianauthorsontour. Click on the CAOTV/radio tab to get submission details. If you're interested in booking an interview on the CAOT TV show, this is a paid opportunity. Listen, you get your own info commercial about you and your books that you can use for your own marketing purposes. And it's just a great investment into Christian Authors on Tour. As we're growing, we're able to invest in a growing media company, which is the WBGR Network. And so if you're interested in doing that, you can go to the same website, www.christianauthorsontour. Click on the CAOTV/radio tab for submission details.
Yes, awesome. You covered it well. You covered it well. We have a wonderful young lady who's sitting between Lynn and I. That's our guest this morning. And even before the broadcast began, she began to share different stories of how God has given her favor and how she's walking in her purpose and fulfilling her dreams and aspirations and goals. So we're going to let her tell us all about this wonderful adventure. But I would like to introduce to you Allison Gregory Daniels. Now, Allison brought with her two of her books that you see here on screen, but you wouldn't know unless I told you. She is the author of 31 books.
31 books.
So right where you are, just give her an applause.
Thank you.
Two of her most recent books are Amazon.com bestsellers.
Yes.
So it's just an awesome opportunity to hear from her as she imparts knowledge. So Allison, we want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
For having me.
And I'm gonna start out right away with the very first question, and it simply is, what is your inspiration to write?
God is actually my inspiration, and I say that because He has given me the gifts and the talent to be able to write as long as I have, given me the inspiration from day to day, and no matter what I've gone through, there are things that, I can inspire and uplift and let others know that you can make it no matter what.
All right.
Yes.
Great answer.
Yes. Your newest book is Walk in Your Authority, right?
Yes. Yes.
And Unleashing the Divine Power from Within.
Yes.
That title is just so powerful. Can you talk a little bit about what inspired you to write this particular book?
Now, what inspired me to write this book is that I was going through something, or actually my mom was going through something, and it was dealing with her going back and forth to the hospital. And I asked God, what is it? What do I need to do? And he said, walk in your authority. I've already given it to you. I've already told you what to do. I'm already ordering your steps. I just need you to walk in your authority and unleash that divine power that I've already given you that's on the inside. And so when I began to seek him on her behalf, and even on my behalf of not so much being afraid, but not really knowing when I step out there what was ahead of me. And so walk in your authority, it offers powerful tips, tools, and techniques to help you get through everyday life. At the end, I ask you questions. You're writing your different thoughts down from what you received from the chapter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that title really registered with me because at the beginning of the year, my pastor, Pastor C. Richard Irby at City of Abraham Church and Ministries, did a whole sermon about walking in your authority. And so when I saw that, I was just like, confirmation.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, Allison, you've also brought one of your other titles with us as well.
Yes.
Talk about that title and the content and how it resonates with your readers.
This book here, Life Goes On, that one is my 30th book.
Okay.
And I wrote that one also when I was going through something, but the difference between that one and this one is that this one I had to go on no matter what I was going through. And so it helped me as far as revealing God's word to me more and more each day about whatever situation you're going through, about your purpose, your plan, or the plan that God has for your life. You still can go on. You still can make it. You still can make a difference. You still can change lives. And during me writing this book, I had lost my dad. And so one of the titles that I have in there is called My Defining Moment. So it's almost as if I had to start back over to define now who is Allison and where do I go from here? Because a lot of times we don't think about, when we lose a parent, that it's our new norm now. And it's almost you redefining how you're going to handle the next years in your life. So Life Goes On helped me get through some things. It let me know that I can live again, believe again, trust again, love again. And that's one of my favorite books. This was my favorite one too. But this one because I knew some of the things that I was going through, that life goes on.
All right. All right. Good stuff.
Absolutely. Now, 31 books.
Yes.
Did you use the same publishing process for all 31 books? Can you talk about what that looked like for you?
Oh gosh, no, I definitely did not use the same publisher. The first few books I did self-publishing actually on my own. So there were like some ups and downs, and I always say changes and turnarounds. Some things you needed to know, some things you didn't know. Then after writing maybe my 25th, 26th book, I did decide to turn it over to a publisher, and they did well with it, but I realized that there were things that I could do on my own or was already doing. I just didn't know how to handle it. And this book here, Walk in Your Authority, I actually let a publisher put this together for me, very pleased with it, Purposely Created Publishing. But now that I am moving on, I will start my own publishing company and getting other authors out. So to date, I do have 4 authors that are published up under me. But self-publishing and publishing a book, I started out self-publishing, then I went with a publisher, and now I'm back doing what God had already called me to do in the beginning. I just needed to kind of go off track a little bit for God to say, I need you back here.
Yep.
So I'm enjoying the journey.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's kind of part of what we talked about a little bit earlier, where we modify and we revise
Yes.
and we
Yes.
amend
I love
Yes.
it.
the call that God has on us, because
Yes.
what you're doing is an extension of your ministry.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, impart some wisdom to our viewers and our listeners this morning about that publishing process. Share with us what was the most challenging, and then share with us what was the most joyful in that experience.
You know, I think the most challenging part was, because I started out doing everything on my own, was releasing it and trusting
Yes.
my work to someone else, and believing that they would, put it together correctly. So I kind of was like that hands-on person. So that was my challenge. And then someone else critiquing me. So I had to get past that point. But the joyfulness of it is being able to actually share with others and to show them that even though, we have to modify, you still can come back and still enjoy the journey of knowing that you succeeded no matter what.
That's good. So that kind of goes hand in hand with the book title, Life Goes On.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Good.
So I want you to give your contact information if folks want to buy copies of your books. If they want to invite you out as a guest speaker, I want you to share that, and then tell us about any upcoming events that you have scheduled.
Okay, so I do have my upcoming book project,
All right.
which is where I am asking for 15 women to collaborate with me
All right.
on this upcoming book entitled Empowered to Win. And then I will have my second annual Women Empowered to Win conference. So thank God for the second one. And I will have an upcoming workshop in March where I help other authors or just writers to get their book out. And I do that online. We're going back and forth online and conference call.
Okay.
Now, you can purchase my book at Amazon.com or www.AllisonGDaniels.com. And I am also on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yes, and LinkedIn too.
Oh, yes, and LinkedIn. Yes.
That's how you connected.
Yes, it is.
Yep. That's good.
Thank you. Yes,
That's good.
yes.
Now, as an extension of the ministry that you're doing, in addition to the writing, share with us other avenues and venues that you're also actively engaged in as a woman of God and as a minister of God.
Okay, so I am a licensed minister, but I also have a coaching and consulting business where I coach you so that you can be accountable for the responsibilities and the things that are going on in your life. And I also help you with getting your book written and getting your story told, because we all have a story within us. It's only when we take back our life and give our story a voice that we begin to grow and be able to share with other people. Also, I am working on doing a women's series where you can come on, ask me questions, and then I'll answer them to try to help you, journey through your life and to make a difference.
Excellent.
Absolutely. You have so much going on. I mean, just on social media, you've just been everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere, and that's awesome. And that's exactly what we need in this day and age. We always talk about the negativity, the things that we see that aren't always so pleasant, and things that we see that make us say, I wish it was something better I could watch. And here we have options now, right? Where we can watch men and women who are walking in God's purpose in terms of their lives, in terms of their book ministries. And so I want you to talk a little bit about what God has in store for you. What's coming, you talked about some of the upcoming events, but talk a little bit about your what next.
My what next is television,
Yes.
actually starting my own television show. That's where I believe God is leading me. So all I'm going to do is continue to walk in it and walk in His favor. Also, I was thinking about when we were furloughed, and I kept saying to God, you know what? We're in our second week of furlough. This is exactly what I'm going to do. So I just started just emailing people. And I think that because we're in this season of furlough, God isn't in the season. He's in the season, but not furlough for His people. So we have to try and use our gifts and talents. And that's exactly what I've been doing, is constantly writing, constantly sending out emails, and not letting the grass grow up under my feet in order to make a difference.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good. So you just articulated and elaborated on the many different ministry gifts that you have, and you're walking in them because you're walking in authority.
Yes.
And in part because life goes on, right?
Yes.
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 Share with us some of the strategies and principles, because obviously there's favor in your life. So you sent out emails and you were able to secure a local interview on the ABC affiliate. That doesn't happen every day.
No.
You have 2 books, maybe more, on the Amazon bestseller list in this very competitive publishing industry. So share with us some strategies and principles that are first and foremost for you to walk in this ordained path that God has for you.
Well, I just believe that because favor is on my life and because I believe the promises of God, one of the things I always do is I pray first. Then I start writing out the plan or the vision that I believe He has for me. And then I set a time limit, a time frame. Then I start reaching out to different people, sending emails. But even when I'm sending out those emails, I have my hand on it, Father God, wherever this leads me. Father God, let your will be done. So it's a lot of different steps that I've taken to get to where I am, but I've always had God as my center. So that was like my strategy, and I'm always listening. So I'm always, Father God, what are you saying to me, and what should I do now? Even this book here, I mean, I love roses, but I asked God about the cover. And so if you see, it's the shoes here. And so you see, and we're walking together. You see this? Because I could have just had one shoe, but I know that I'm walking with Him and that He's covering me, and I'm walking on a petal of roses because I really don't have to do anything but just allow Him to lead and guide me.
There you go.
Amen.
There you go.
Amen.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yes. Beyond awesome. And you know, it's funny, I didn't even notice that those were shoes on the cover. So she said something. How creative is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But that's just like our Father, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Totally different, set apart.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So listen, as you know, right now in the news, and you kind of tapped on it a little bit with the furloughed, workers, and you being able to not focus on the downside of that, but being able to turn what the enemy thought was going to take you out for something good, to be able to say, hey, this gives me more time to work on my books and to get promotions. There may be somebody watching this right now that is a federal furlough worker who's struggling, or somebody that is not a federal furlough worker, but they're still struggling. Can you give them some words of advice and encouragement this morning?
Let me say this, that one thing we have to realize is that your purpose still stands regardless of your past. So no matter what you're going through in life, or no matter what has happened, your purpose still stands regardless of your past. Why? Because God didn't change His mind about what He's going to do in your life. Even in this furlough season, He's still blessing, He's still moving, He's still healing, He's still delivering. So your purpose, find what your purpose is. Seek God and find that passion. There's something that you're passionate about. And once you can reveal that, or God reveals that to you, you'll start walking in. I'm passionate about what I do. So no matter what goes on around me, I'm still going to seek Him for my next level.
Yes.
All right. All right.
Yes. Yes. I can feel it. Like, yes. And I say that, I'm laughing and, in jest, but this is a serious issue for many people across the nation
It is.
who have never been in this experience, in this situation before. And, God works in mysterious ways, and what a wonderful ministry opportunity. And I know somebody watching this needed to hear that this morning. So I thank you for being transparent, and I thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, the message is timely because, we're looking at typically new beginnings in the new year, and it's an opportunity, quite frankly, where we can have our ears just attentive to what the Lord is saying and in the quiet time. So while it is disturbing and it's unique and it's different, it can also be a tremendous blessing and opportunity to listen in terms of what's next. So Allison, from your perspective, what is next? What's next for Allison? You've talked a little bit about some of the work that's coming up, but in the grand scheme of things, what's next for Allison?
Well, let me say this. I have 34 years in the government. I just don't have the age. So I'm looking for God to, take me to my next level and show me how to be able to help someone else once this chapter has closed. So I'm actually trusting God to move me and to do what he has actually called me to do. And so that's why I've never given up, because I still have that yearning on the inside that says, I still have something else for you. But in the meantime, I need you to do what I have already laid out before you. So even though we've been furloughed, we still have to continue to do what God has called us to do. We're still on an assignment.
That's right.
So now I see why we're connected. Because I also served 34 years in the federal government and when I retired. And now that I am in Chapter 2, it is just tremendously awesome in terms of the doors that have been opened. And your ear is much more attentive now, and your eye to what the Lord is saying, because you're a little bit more focused on where you're going. So that is absolutely tremendous. So we're going to be doing some great work together.
I receive it.
And also with CAOT as well, because it is just walking in authority, right? So unleashing the divine power from within. It's already on the inside.
Yes.
Right?
Amen.
Right? But
That's it.
Like Lynn talked about the sermon that she heard from her phenomenal pastor, and then seeing and meeting the author of the book with the same. These things just don't happen, right? It's a confirmation, and it's divine. There's the word right there, divine. It's a divine appointment.
Yes. And I want to make sure that our viewers and our listeners can buy your book. So tell us a little bit about the prices and where they can actually get copies, hard copies.
Okay, Amazon.com, or you can go to my website, www.AllisonGDaniels.com. $15 on Amazon.com.
Okay. Okay. And that's a great investment. So for those of you who are watching, go over to that website right now, purchase a couple of copies for yourself and maybe for a few family members. This is a wonderful investment into an awesome woman of God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So we only have a few minutes left. I told you the time was going to go by so quickly. So if you wanted to leave, some words of advice or encouragement or anything to our viewing audience, feel free to do that.
Keep walking in your purpose, because you are of value. And God still has your best interests at heart. So no matter what it looks like, don't focus in on that. Stay focused on the word. Look up, and God will show you exactly where he's calling you to. Don't give up. Stay focused.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Can't add anything to that.
Can't add anything.
Can't subtract anything from it either.
Don't want to. But give your website information one more time. Yes.
So it's www.AllisonGDaniels.com.
Amazing.
Yes. This has been great.
Yes. So just want to thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Pastor Kevin, it's always a pleasure.
Always. I thoroughly enjoy this part of ministry.
Absolutely.
This is what it is. This is just another tentacle that we have out there in the universe to say, what can we do to help and support other people?
Yes.
That's what it's all about. That's where fulfillment comes. It's all about others.
Absolutely. absolutely. And want to thank you for tuning in to the CAOT TV show on the WBGR Gospel Network. We air live every Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is your #1 source for connecting and meeting and learning about Christian authors, fiction and nonfiction, who are using writing as a tool for Christian ministry. Come on out and meet us at one of our scheduled tour stops for the 2019 Seed in Good Soil Christian Authors on Tour. Visit us online at www.christianauthorsontour.com for more info, or give us a call at 800-929-1418. Until next time, God bless.
God bless.
Bless you. God bless you.